audible enough? All right. As introduced, my name is Latuna Bode. I work with Sterling Bank, head of Agric, Lagos and Southwest. I actually told him that I would love to take my time and get a full house, but he wants me to speak twice. So no problem with that. He asked a question that how many of us in agriculture? I think I saw like few hands up, 3, 2, something. Okay. Maybe before we finish, I'll be able to. Should I confuse you or convince you? Which one should I do? So I'll be able to do something and get more disciples for agriculture today. So before we finish, the 2 hands probably will be like 10, 20, or the whole house. It's funny how it is. I know a lot of people won't believe the way I look, I do agriculture, right? How do I look? I don't look like an agri person. But dynamics is changing. We need to change the orientation totally. I'm not going to speak to the slide yet. Let me just, let's wrap it up first a bit. Agric has changed from what we used to know. I know a lot of us expect 70-year-old, 60, 80 to do agriculture. But will that age feed our growth, our populations of today? No. A lot of us can do way better than what our forefathers can do. I have friends that are 21, 20, 30, owning companies that worth billions. Not just because they till the soil, but because they have passion and they are creative in thinking. They were able to see things that others can't see. Look at the opportunities inherent in every society or environment you have. Tap that opportunity and milk it for better economic value. So that's just like our pastor said. If you are here today, first what I want you to do is whatever you think you know, let's start the mindset of not knowing anything. Let's both share ideas together. I'm not going to speak to the slide. Want to talk. Let's share ideas together, and then from there, learn new things, and then we'll walk the talk. If we learn today and we don't walk the talk, we'll be wasting our time. I've gone for symposium, lectures, different things, and my target is always to, if I have 10 converts out of 100 people, I'm satisfied. The impact of the 10 can multiply and give me a ripple effect of 100 in another 2-3 months. So let's have that mindset of today, Agric is a business that we all do, whether at small scale, large scale, or big scale. It's not difficult. Funding is not difficult. I know a lot of youths don't like funding, but agriculture, either you borrow or you have assets base, you will still need to get support and help from somewhere. So straight to the point, it's very easy. We're talking about sterling women and youth in agriculture, and then I'm happy the faces I'm seeing are my age range. Abi? Gen Z. So we can all do this together. This product is basically designed to meet the needs of our youth. We designed this to bring to fore the knowledge of agriculture with our youth. Our youth need to understand that we cannot just stay outside the box and expect things to change. The change starts with us. If you actually want to do something better, you can't just be a Twitter guy or be a Facebook guy and be speaking English. No. You need to walk the talk, sweat it out, and make the change. And that is why we designed this product. This is one of the best in the industry, one of the very best. I can beat my chest to say I don't have a competitor on this. Why I said that is you get to find out most commercial banks really don't support agriculture because of the risk inherent in the business. The risk is very high. So what Sterling Bank has done is different. Sterling recruited agric professionals, not just bankers. I don't do banking. I'm a banker, but I don't look for money. My job is basically as an agric financier. I'm an agric analyst. I do only agric business, and I travel far and wide. So our role in this is to make people see why you need to farm. It's not about just farming. Can I make money from farming? So I don't go out to speak agriculture, to farmers. I go out to speak to agripreneurs, people that wants to make money from agriculture. You can't just till the soil, sweat, and then you won't get anything back in return. No. We want to see from my planting of one plot, how much will I make from it? And the idea is simple. From day one, I want to see the markets in place. Nigeria has a very huge population, but doesn't mean you will plant one plot of maize and sell to that population and make profits. So you need to be able to strategize, look at it holistically. What is in it for me? What do I need to gain? And that is why we designed this. I'm just saying history about this product. We designed it to make you understand that apart from planting, we want to make you a business owner. We want to make you be able to stand on your own, deliver, and impact others. That is the role. So please, next slide, please. All right. I hope you can all see it. Is this too small? You can, okay. So the goal, I just spoke about the goal, is actually to feed the nation, basically. The population is growing at a rate that if we don't do what is right, we will starve. We will surely starve. What we are producing today cannot even feed us. I think as of last week, AFDB said if we don't produce something worth of, no, I've forgotten the tons, by 2025, Africa will go into starvation. Don't we have the soil? Do we have it? Do we have the land? So what's our problem? Please, let's talk. What's our problem in Africa or in Nigeria? Let's speak. Say again. Human resource, one. Sorry? We. Okay, we, human resource. Any other problem? Herdsmen. Okay, we are talking. Security, okay. Any other one? Human resource, we, human resource, security, herdsmen. I didn't get that? Infrastructure. Yeah, that's good also. So with all this, what are we supposed to do differently? Are we going to fold our hands and watch? Because herdsmen is outside there. Are we going to sit down at home and hide? Insecurity, yeah. What do we do? All of us will go and hide. Infrastructure. The little we have, are we utilizing it? Now I'm going to go back to the major point. Human resource. Human capacity. Don't we have it? I'm speaking to our conscience. Don't we have that human capacity? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting 10, 20. Is that not capacity enough? Is that not the human weed? It's not the weed we are looking at. But the point is, our attitude is different. For our age, we are looking at the point of, like the pastor said, get to 10 billion naira in 3 minutes. That's our problem. We want to get rich just by sleeping and dreaming, and then you want to be Bill Gates. That's our problem. That's the major problem. We are lazy. We want to deliver. We want to earn from what we did not sow. And why I'm here today is actually to make it different. Speak to us. Let us discuss why we must get it right. Feeding the nation, it's what we need to do. We cannot fold our hands and expect anybody to feed us. So if you look at this simple, poverty is there. Facilities, we don't have enough. But little we have, are we utilizing it? No. To work on a 6 plot of land for maize, or let's even say 1 plot of land, do we need so much tractor? We don't. Even at your backyard, if you've planted maize before, just simple maize, raise up your hand. How does it feel seeing it grow? Sorry, how does it feel? Say again? Accomplishment. Yeah. So you enjoy seeing it like, I just fold my hands and this thing is growing, and in 3 months you have maize. So let's look at it spiritually. How do you see God in that thing you're doing? Are you doing anything extra to make it grow? That's one seed you planted. You know what multiple or ripple effect you get from that one seed? It will give you like a cob of maybe 100 or something. That is how we want to see it now. Whatever energy we put into play today, expect that it's not going to be easy. It's not a miracle that you get 3 billion from one plot. But whatever you do can translate to positive changes in another 3 months, 4 months. You can start from one plot, go 2 plots, 3 plots, 5. Before you know it, you're the biggest farmer in Africa. It's just the mindset. I am here to change your thinking. I have the funding, or we have the funding. But I want the attitude, the capacity, the willingness to do it. I can't come to your house and say, come and take loan, if you're not willing to start the business. There are different things to, I have a dream. Yeah, everybody dreams, right? But what is the major thing is how are we going to actualize that dream? And that is why we are here today. So basically, I've spoken to the introduction. So this is our approach as a bank. We provide knowledge through training, and that is why we're here today, to have a discussion around agriculture, change the whole scope of our human capacity to what we can do in agriculture. Once we all accept that agric is the main thing, then the next thing is to look at your ideas. Put it in black and white. Let's discuss it, fine-tune it together. It doesn't have to be perfect once. We can't get it right one day. But put your ideas together. You can decide to be a mushroom farmer in your house, you know, right? You can decide to raise snail. You don't need so much land. You can raise snail in your backyard and feed this community alone. So have that idea, put it in black and white, talk to us, let's find things together. From there, we'll look at, okay, what does this actual person needs? How much you need to change or to bring to reality this dream that you have. That is why you have the loan. Giving you the loan is not about just dashing you the money. We are there to walk you through the process of actualizing your dream of, I want to be a snail farmer. I want to go into the business of tractor. I want to go into the business of selling fertilizer or something. So after the loan is approved, we want to measure efficiency. Efficiency means impact. What has my loan been able to do in your life? What impact has the loan done in mitigating or creating better opportunities for people around you? Next slide, please. So basically, in a bid to curtail some of the challenges faced by smallholder farmers and elevate the impact of pandemic, that is why we have this Agfin product. It's just to make sure that our youth are gainfully employed, not just employed in agribusiness. I told you it's not about agriculture alone. It's now I'm building agripreneurs, people that can change the old space, people that can make things different. That is why we are here. The focus of this product, it's meant for youth and women, like I mentioned initially. Youth is our main focus. Women, if you look at gender, let's look at the gender here today. If I give 100,000 out for savings, and then in another 6 months, I say, oh yeah, everybody, show me what you have. Percentage of women that will have multiply or keep that cash handy and effective will be higher than men. Am I right? Am I right? Do you agree? Women are good spenders. They can save better than us. Am I right? Am I right? Even spiritually, if you marry, you give her, she give you back. She can give you with one, she can give you 10, Abi. Abi? With one, she can give you 2. So naturally, by virtue of that, women are good spenders. So you need to look at that particular gender and see what we can do. If you look at our farms today, our villages today, you have more women in agriculture than men. Do you believe that also? Go to the villages. People making palm oil that we eat. How many men are there? People threshing rice in the north. How many men do you find there? So we need to look at that gender and see how we can change that dynamic, how we can change, push them further, enhance them to do more than what they're doing. So women are key, they're very important in terms of agriculture. I think over 70% of African agriculture workforce, women are just the thing we need to, they are just there for us to work, nothing, they're there for us to work with. We cannot keep saying that gender is weak, that gender is this, that gender is what, they are the one holding us. That gender is feeding us. And then that is why we came about this product. Look at the women and see what we can do. Next slide, please. So partnership, we're able to partner with a lot of companies, way more than what we have on the screen today, way more than that. We've done a lot with IITA. I can say on the past 1 year, we've financed close to over 750 million on cassava alone with IITA, and it's doing very well. On insurance is a major player in agribusiness. There's nothing we'll do or finance that won't insure. And it's because of the risk inherent in the business. So, next slide, please. I think I'm looking at the time. So this is the product features rather. So basically, I know we have more of smallholder farmers here. Smallholder farmers can borrow up to 5 million for agribusiness. Up to 5 million. But it's not just about the figure. It's about, like I said, let's understand what you want to do. You don't have to get it right first day, but we can both design and define it in a way that to suit the bank to be able to advance you, avail you a facility. Retail farmers can do 5 million also. SME business, 20 million. SME has businesses that are already emerging, growing, 20 million. The anchors or aggregators. For this set of particular audience we have today, I believe we can work with a cooperative model, bring youth that has some idea. The church can look at it and decide to go get 10 hectares of land somewhere, and then the youth can be involved in maize production. We'll put partners in place to guide you. You don't have to know it. Partners in place to guide you. I mean technical partners that will help you plant, teach you on how to do it. From there, the youth will learn. We'll finance it. Maybe we can work with the church to get land. We'll provide the funding, and then we'll get the youths working. And then from there, we can look at the proceeds of sales, make good money for yourself, and start a living. Start doing your 2, 5, 3 plots yourself. So age range is between 18 to 35. Interest rate, like I said, is one of the best in the industry, 9%. This 9% is not from CBN. We're not going to CBN to get this fund. So fee is 0.5 flat. Tenor is 1 year. This 1 year is basically on gestation period of what you're planting or what you're doing. Gestation means that if you're doing broiler, for instance, commercial broiler, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get them to 2 kg and above 2 kg. That's gestation. For maize, it takes 3 months. That's gestation. So the loan is for 1 year. So you can do as many cycles as you can within that year. Target activity is basically all agri value chain. Agri value chain we're talking about is cut across from primary production to the end product. Whatever you can play, you can decide not to plant. You can decide I want to do packaging, or I want to process. You can decide I want to add value in transportation, or you want to be an input supplier. So all value chain. Agriculture is not basically you going to the farm and plant. You can choose one value chain as I want to play here. I want to process maize to something, or I want to play in the space of mechanization, renting tractors, or I want to play in the space of selling inputs, fertilizer and herbicides, or I want to play in the transport sector of the business, of agribusiness. So you can look at the value chain you want to play, and we'll look at what financing you need. Cash collateral is 15%. What I mean by that is we want you to have a stake in the business. You can't just come and say, give me 5 million, let's go to the farm. But put your own stake in the business, and then you'll be more committed to doing it. Basically, it's meant for working capital, time loan, and term loan. We can do sort of asset purchase, penthouse construction, anything you want to do in terms of agriculture, you can talk to us. Next slide, please. So product features for crop, arable crops, annual crops. Arable crops are crops that grow within a short time period a year. Examples are maize, rice, soybean, cassava, and the likes. We do livestock also, aquaculture, poultry, piggery, snailery, livestock, goat fattening, rabbitry. talk of anything agriculture, you have funding available for it. Then processing also, like I mentioned earlier, processing of whatever product the farmer is bringing out, you can decide to play in that sector. And then basically we do commodity aggregation. Commodity means, let's for instance, soya bean. You don't want to plant it, but you want to sell soya bean. You can aggregate soya bean across board and decide to go and sell to likes of Wamco, whoever needs the soya bean. Next slide, please. So this is the product segment. I'm not going to speak to the slide, just talk about it generally. If you actually want to get anything from a commercial bank, Sterling Bank, I'm from Sterling Bank, so the basic we need to do is you must open an account with the bank, have a relationship with the bank. You can't just come to me and say, my name is Bode, give me a loan. Who is Bode? I don't know you. So an account must be opened first to initiate the conversation. Yes, you write a letter of application, and then, like I mentioned, your dream must be put into black and white. Put the business plan down. It doesn't have to be done by one special accountant or one special financial person. You can write it yourself. We can both fine-tune it together, design it, and make it something that is a working tool for the bank. Then if it's a company, you have to have a certificate of incorporation. Cooperative must be registered also. This is very important. Cost of production in whatever you want to do. There must be an outline of day one to the last day. Cost of production. This is, I'm going to plant on one plot of land. It will cost more than 50,000. Break it down. How much is seedling? How much is fertilizer? How much is herbicides? How much will it cost me for labor and the likes? Then, once you do that, you must have something we'll call an off-take agreement. It's gone are the days we will plant and say, it's season, I will sell. No. We need to plant for a particular market. You need to invest for a specific market. And what that means is who is buying my product must be known from day one of starting that project. That is the only way you will not fail. Right now, we're in the season of maize, right? Every corner you see that boiled maize or roasted maize. But imagine if you have 10 plots of land, how many will you boil? How many will you roast? Are you getting the logic? So we need to look at the market in view before we start that production. With that market, you are sure of who is going to buy your product the day one they're ready. And you make your cool cash, go back to the farm. So, I mentioned as cooperative is a model we will discuss maybe at the second coming. We'll discuss the cooperative model, how we can do that, fine-tune it together and see what we can do with the church. So next slide, please. So retailers, basically this is where we belong. I mentioned earlier, you open accounts. Business plan is very important. Cost of production is something you won't joke with. We normally, at every time, take pro forma invoices. We don't allow cash into farmer's hand. Whatever you are applying for goes straight to input supplier. They supply you inputs, and then you go to the farm and plant. Then if you have exposure with any bank, like you've borrowed before, we'll check that through credit search. No other thing like that. So next slide, please. So minimum of 20 members or maximum of 100 farmer by a cooperative group. That is, if you're looking at a cooperative youth model for this church now. The cooperative must be registered. Sure. Then CAMA, which all those documents will be in place. Whatever we are doing, we will make sure that the youths are trained on the process of doing it. Part of what we'll do is that we'll bring companies that will train you, that will work with you, and then give you certification of, yes, you are ready to do this, and we can actually fund and proceed. Then, or whatever we are financing must be fully insured. That's why insurance is key in this business. Then, when we are done, whatever you sell, domiciliation comes to the bank. You take your profits, I take my money with interest. Abi? That's the way business is. Next slide, please. So this is just the flow of how the product works. You customer visits the branch, like we're talking now, open an account with us, have a relationship manager that works with you. The manager or the agri officer goes to inspect your farm, check what you're doing, fine-tune the paperwork, and upon satisfactory confirmation of all those documents, the loan is reviewed and approved, business is done, repayment is done, and then we'll go back to the farm. Simple circle, right? Very easy. Is it very easy? On paper. But in reality, we can achieve it. If you don't start, you won't know how far you will go. It's very simple in paper, I won't lie to you. But in reality, it's not something that is very difficult. To open an account can happen like, as you're sitting down here. From your phone, I can get you an account straight. You don't have to come to the branch or the bank to open an account. That is done. To visit your farm can be done in 24 hours if you have one. If you don't have one, to put a business plan on ground is done by you. Bring it to us. We'll both read it together. And then loan documentation, like I mentioned, loan application, cost of production, put the market in view, off-take agreements. These are just paperwork that we can do within 24 hours. So it's not something serious. It's just the mindset. If you're ready to do it, if you're positive about it, we can achieve this anytime we want to do it. Next slide, please. So this is a digital page for the Sweet Akfin. The site is there. You can check it. Put in your data, apply for what you want to apply for. It will come to us and we'll review it. It's a digital platform that you don't have to approach the four walls of the bank every time to get this done. We'll still talk about it more. So I can put you through maybe when I come back on the next minute. So basically, that is Sterling Women and Youth in Agriculture. Thank you.
A round of applause for Mr. Bode. Thank you very much, sir. Do we have one or two questions to quickly take before we have our next resource person? If you have a question, please raise up your hand and then the microphone will be given to you. Remember I said that we have a lot to do today, so if you're going to ask your question, ask your question. He said a lot. Soya bean, cassava 750 million, opening an account in 24 hours, getting a loan in Don't you have any questions for him? Anyone?
All right,
okay.
so it's not a question, actually. I'm sitting beside an unrepentant doubter in almost everything you said. And that is coming from a place of what he has faced. Through all this value chain, he has done almost from doing it himself, being a middleman and all that. And he's been sitting beside me since. He doesn't want to talk because he just feels that's how they talk. So what can you do? You started by saying you want to convert. So this is a sway sinner that needs conversion. I don't know what else you need to say. So what are your doubting places, Bro Felix?
I can have a conversation with anyway, my name is Olabi Felix, and thank you for the initiative. One of the problems I feel that we are not addressing, number one, I think I should correct a notion that people are lazy. People are actually not lazy. What I feel is that a lot of them don't actually know what to do. There is a huge knowledge gap in the agri space in Nigeria, a very huge one. I started as a farmer. I started working with 25 acres of land, but I found out that I don't need up to 25 acres of land. Because I had to, at a point, I think I left about 10 acres of land, of maize unharvested. Because I found out that, I was financing it from my pocket. I was doing basically A to Z of the thing. I realized that, okay, if I had probably gotten a trainee, or probably gotten a mentor, I would not have started with 25 acres. And you still see a lot of people today. They just tell them, if you plant 1 hectare of maize, you will make 2 million naira. And all they are seeing is the 2 million. They are not seeing the in-between. So it just shows that there's not so much information out there. And because by nature, Nigeria, we don't document a lot of processes. When you go to YouTube, you see a lot of videos from all these other people. But Nigerians, we just do our thing. So, and even when you go to institutions, all the agri, probably Ministry of Agri, or whatever it is, you can't get documents. You can't get probably manuals of doing stuff. So, I would like you as a bank, only as a product, to focus more on that knowledge gap. It's a huge problem. I can tell you that for free. It's a huge problem. And another problem is people, of course, if you tell them to pay for, let me train you, they always, but probably if you guys probably set up trainings, first of all, let people know what is involved in this thing. And the other side of it is that you don't have to actually plant. I have stopped planting stuff for some years, but I'm still actively involved in the agri value, actively involved. So it's not just about planting things, because you said so much about you plant maize, you do stuff. There is a lot involved in the whole value chain. So if you can also focus on all these other aspects, I think it will be good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And
Sorry, but if someone wants to quickly add to something he said before you answer the question, just hold on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alison Damlola. In addition to what he has said, right, I've also found out that a lot of the products that the banks and the insurance companies have at the moment do not cater for farmers to practice the 21st century technologies. So you tell them that you're probably trying to build a greenhouse, you're trying to go soilless farming. A lot of times the people you're speaking to do not have a clue as to what these things are. So they don't have, their products are a lot of times, it's still for the older technologies. So when you're telling them this is what you're doing, they tell you, sorry, we don't have a product for you. I don't know if your own product addresses that.
Sorry. Hope you don't mind. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Sorry, sir. Before you go on, sir, let me just quickly introduce who's speaking. This is Mr. Shino Atilola, Executive Director for Premium Trust. This is our major facilitator, one of our major facilitators for today. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, forget the Executive Director, forget the banking, right? Now, valid points you have raised, but seriously, the bankers can answer the question. The bankers can solve the problem. What we bankers know, I'm wearing two hats, and today I'm not going to talk to you as a banker. I want to talk to you as a farmer like him. I want to talk to you like somebody that started. I will tell you my failure parts. I've been in the business of agriculture for 2014 to date. That's 8 years, right? I'm coming all the way from my farm directly here. So I understand what he's talking about, and you are 100% correct. But unfortunately, the bankers, we bankers, don't have that knowledge. What you don't have, you can't give. What you don't know, you can't teach. So they don't have it, and they can't give it. What they can give you is finance. So the challenge is for you and people like me to educate others coming up, not to make the mistakes that we have made. So really, you should be here talking to us, not bankers talking to us, such that we can avoid those mistakes we have made. Not that we won't make mistakes, but we will reduce the volume and the quantity of mistakes that we made because we are learning from you. That part, we can avoid those parts that you mistakenly passed through. That's the first background I want to lay. So that we don't put a burden that is not ease on him. It's going to be part of what I'm going to be discussing, but I don't want it to be unfair on him. He has spoken to us about finance, right? He might not even be a farmer, but he knows about the product. If you understand what I'm saying. So in reality, the people that have gone ahead are people that will be helping those coming up. I'm so excited, especially when I saw the age demography of the people that are here. So we can start well at a good time. But let me warn from what he has said. If you are too big to start small, you'll be too small to start big. And I always ask this question, can you show me a house that was built from the roof? Anywhere in the world, from the roof. It starts from where? So we'll lay the foundation today. Thank you.
Yeah, I said it all. When my boss speak, what will I say again?
Thank you. A round of applause for Mr. Bode. Thank you so much. Okay.